The emergency alarms screamed through the corridors of the Galactic Medical Research Station as Dr. Cavil rushed toward the docking bay. His crystalline skin flickered from calm blue to urgent orange as he processed the incoming distress signal. In his 40 years of xenobiology research, he had never encountered readings quite like these. The unknown vessel limped into the station's emergency berth, trailing debris and venting atmosphere. Through the observation windows, Cavil could see 4 bipedal creatures moving inside the damaged ship. Their vital signs were erratic, showing multiple injuries that would prove fatal to most known species without immediate intervention. Dr. Morphin slithered alongside Cavil, his slug-like body leaving a faint trail of medical sensors that continuously monitored the air for biological threats. The Thessarian physician had treated over 200 different species in his career, but these new arrivals puzzled him. Their biological signatures were unlike anything in the Galactic Medical Database. Emergency medical team to docking bay. 7, Dr. Trex announced over the station's communication system. Her insectoid mandibles clicked rapidly as she coordinated the response from the medical center. The Hyvarian doctor prided herself on efficiency, having saved thousands of lives through precise technological intervention. As the airlock cycled open, the 4 injured beings stumbled into the station's medical bay. They were roughly humanoid in appearance, with pale skin, hair covering their heads, and 2 eyes positioned forward on their faces. The lead creature, wearing what appeared to be a damaged uniform with captain's insignia, stepped forward, despite a deep gash running down his left arm that exposed muscle and bone. "I am Captain Rivers of the mining vessel Terra Nova," the being said through the station's universal translator. "We need medical assistance for my crew." Dr. Cavil's skin shifted to a professional green as he activated his medical scanners. The readings horrified him. The captain's wound would require immediate biomechanical grafting to prevent permanent nerve damage. Another crew member, who introduced himself as Engineer Thompson, had 3 fractured ribs that needed metallic bone substitutes to avoid puncturing vital organs. The pilot, Kumar, displayed signs of severe concussion that would require cranial pressure relief technology. Their medic, Foster, suffered from multiple lacerations that demanded nano-repair injections to prevent infection. "Please lie down on the bioreconstruction tables," Dr. Morphin instructed, his tentacles already reaching for the cellular regeneration equipment. "We need to begin emergency procedures immediately." To the alien's shock, Captain Rivers raised his hand. "We appreciate your help, but we only need basic antiseptics and bandages. Maybe some pain medication if you have something compatible with our biology." Dr. Trex's compound eyes widened in disbelief. Her mandibles clicked frantically as she processed this impossible request. "You cannot survive these injuries without technological assistance. Your arm requires immediate biomechanical intervention." "I understand your concern," Rivers replied, settling carefully onto one of the medical tables. "But humans heal differently than other species. We just need basic supplies and time." The 3 alien doctors exchanged glances of pure confusion. In their collective experience across dozens of species, no biological organism could survive such trauma without immediate technological support. The Altarians had developed crystal matrix healing after their natural systems proved inadequate. The Thessarians relied on biosynthetic organs after their original biology failed them centuries ago. The Hyvarians used nanotechnology to repair damage their exoskeletons could not handle alone. Dr. Cavil approached Thompson, who was breathing carefully due to his fractured ribs. "Your bone structure is compromised. Without metallic reinforcement, you risk internal bleeding and organ damage." Thompson managed a weak smile. "Doc, I've broken ribs before. They heal on their own if you give them time and avoid heavy lifting." "Impossible," Dr. Morphin declared, his biological sensors detecting massive cellular damage in Kumar's brain. "This level of neural trauma requires immediate technological intervention. Your cognitive functions will deteriorate without cranial pressure regulation. Devices. Kumar touched the large bruise on his forehead gingerly. I have a concussion, but it's not severe. I just need rest and to avoid bright lights for a few days. Foster, despite her multiple cuts and abrasions, was already helping her crewmates settle onto the medical tables. If you have something like hydrogen peroxide or iodine for cleaning wounds, that would help prevent infection. Otherwise, our bodies will handle the healing process. The alien medical team stood frozen in amazement. These creatures, these humans, were calmly refusing life-saving technology as if they possessed some form of biological healing the doctors had never encountered. Dr. Cavill's skin cycled through several colors as he struggled to process this information. Your species has never developed medical technology? Dr. Trex asked, her voice filled with scientific curiosity despite her concern. We have medical technology, Rivers explained as Foster cleaned his wound with basic antiseptic. But our bodies are designed to heal themselves. We use technology to help the process when necessary, not replace it entirely. Dr. Morphin extended a sensor tentacle toward Thompson's chest, detecting the complex biological activity around his fractured ribs. Your skeletal structure appears to be generating new cellular growth at the injury sites. Bone cells rebuild themselves when they're damaged, Thompson confirmed. It takes a few weeks, but they usually come back stronger than before. The three doctors began a rapid consultation in their native languages. Dr. Cavell's crystalline structure vibrated with excitement as he realized they might be witnessing an entirely new form of biological evolution. Dr. Morphin's chemical analysis. Organs were working overtime, trying to understand the complex biological processes occurring in the human bodies. Dr. Trex documented everything, her natural hive mind instincts, driving her to record this unprecedented discovery. Against their better judgment and all medical protocols, they agreed to provide only basic supplies. The humans cleaned their wounds, applied simple bandages, and settled in for what they claimed would be natural recovery. The alien doctors established continuous monitoring, certain they would need to intervene within hours as the humans' primitive healing methods failed. As the humans rested, the medical team prepared emergency equipment for the inevitable technological intervention they would need to perform. None of them could imagine that they were about to witness the most advanced biological healing system in the known galaxy, one that would challenge everything they believed about medicine and evolution. The station's other medical staff gathered around the monitoring screens, watching in fascination as the humans' vital signs stabilized without any technological assistance. Something impossible was happening, and it would change galactic medicine forever. The soft hum of medical monitors filled the recovery bay as Dr. Cavell reviewed the overnight readings for the third time. His crystalline skin flickered between confusion and amazement as he stared at the impossible data displayed on his screens. After 72 hours of observation, the humans were not only alive, but showing remarkable improvement. Captain Rivers sat up in his medical bed, carefully flexing his injured arm. The deep gash that had exposed muscle and bone was now sealed, with what appeared to be new tissue growth. Pink, healthy skin had formed over the wound, creating a protective barrier that seemed stronger than the surrounding area. "How do you feel this morning, Captain?" Dr. Morphin asked, his sensor tentacles hovering near Rivers' arm. The Thessarian physician had been monitoring the healing process continuously, documenting cellular activity that defied everything he knew about biology. "Much better, thank you," Rivers replied, rotating his arm to test its mobility. "Still a bit sore, but the pain is manageable. Should be back to normal function in another week or so." Dr. Morphin's chemical analysis organs detected no signs of infection, tissue rejection, or cellular breakdown. Instead, the wound showed increased blood flow, active protein synthesis, and coordinated cellular regeneration. The human body was essentially rebuilding itself using nothing but organic processes. Across the bay, Engineer Thompson was breathing normally despite his fractured ribs. Dr. Trex's compound eyes focused on the medical scans showing bone tissue, actively repairing itself. Calcium deposits were forming bridges across the fractures, knitting the bones back together without any technological assistance. "Your skeletal structure is regenerating," Dr. Trex observed, her mandibles clicking in scientific fascination. "The damaged bone tissue is being replaced by new growth that appears denser than the original material." Thompson nodded, carefully sitting up to demonstrate his improved mobility. "Broken bones usually heal stronger than they were before. The body overcompensates when it repairs damage." The concept of biological overcompensation was revolutionary to the alien physicians. Their species had abandoned natural healing long ago, considering it inefficient and unreliable. Most galactic civilizations developed technological substitutes for biological functions as soon as their science advanced sufficiently. Pilot Kumar walked slowly around the medical bay, his concussion symptoms noticeably improved. The large bruise on his forehead had changed from dark purple to yellow-green, indicating natural blood absorption and cellular repair. His cognitive functions tested normal, his balance had returned, and his vision was clear. "Your neural tissue is restructuring itself around the damaged areas," Dr. Cavell noted, studying Kumar's brain scans. "Your cognitive pathways have rerouted to maintain full functionality." "The brain is pretty good at working around injuries," Kumar explained. "It creates new connections when old ones get damaged. Takes some time, but it usually figures things out." The alien doctors convened an emergency medical conference in the station's main research lab. Representatives from 12 different species attended virtually, each contributing their expertise to analyze the unprecedented healing they were witnessing. Dr. Cavell presented his findings to the assembled xenobiologists. "The humans possess integrated biological systems that function as self-contained repair mechanisms. Their blood contains specialized cells that attack infection, their bones regenerate using living tissue, and their neural pathways adapt dynamically to damage." The attending physicians from across the galaxy expressed disbelief. The crystalline viridians had replaced their organic healing systems with mineral-based regeneration centuries ago. The gaseous nebulans used energy field manipulation to repair molecular damage. The mechanical synthetics had never possessed biological healing capabilities at all. "Impossible," declared Dr. Zenth from the Proxima Research Institute. "No organic system can match technological healing rates while maintaining structural integrity." Dr. Morphin shared his chemical analysis data. "The human immune system operates like a military organization. White blood cells patrol their circulatory system, identify threats, and coordinate massive responses to eliminate infection. Their blood actually forms clots to seal wounds automatically." The assembled scientists reviewed footage of human blood clotting, watching in amazement as platelets formed natural bandages over damaged blood vessels. This biological process eliminated the need for external wound sealers that most species required for even minor injuries. Dr. Trex presented her documentation of human bone healing. Their skeletal system consists of living tissue that responds to damage by generating new material. The repair process results in stronger bone structure than existed before the injury. Foster, the human medic, had been quietly observing the alien medical procedures with professional interest. She approached the research team with an offer that stunned them completely. "Would you like me to explain basic human first aid techniques?" she asked. "I could teach you how we treat injuries without technology." The suggestion that a member of a supposedly primitive species could teach advanced galactic medicine to expert xenobiologists was almost insulting. However, the evidence of human healing capabilities was undeniable. Dr. Cavell's skin shifted to an interested purple. "What could you teach us that our technology cannot accomplish?" Foster smiled and rolled up her sleeve, revealing several small scars on her forearm. Each of these healed naturally without any technological intervention. Some required stitches to hold the edges together while new skin grew, but the actual healing happened through biological processes. She explained concepts that seemed primitive but proved remarkably effective. Cleaning wounds with simple antiseptics to prevent infection, applying pressure to stop bleeding while natural clotting occurred, immobilizing broken bones so they could heal in proper alignment, using cold to reduce swelling and heat to increase blood flow for healing. The alien physicians listened with growing amazement as Foster described techniques that worked purely through biological enhancement rather than technological replacement. These methods supported natural healing processes instead of overriding them. "Your species maintains biological independence," Dr. Morphin observed. "You enhance natural functions rather than replacing them with artificial systems." Foster nodded. "We learned that working with our bodies usually produces better long-term results than trying to replace biological functions with machines." As the fourth day of observation concluded, the human crew showed continued improvement. River's arm was nearly fully functional. Thompson's ribs no longer caused breathing difficulty. Kumar's concussion symptoms had completely resolved, and Foster's lacerations were barely visible. The alien medical team faced a disturbing realization. Their advanced technology might be masking fundamental weaknesses in their natural healing systems. The humans had achieved something that none of their species had managed. They had retained and refined their biological independence while still developing advanced civilization. The implications were staggering, and the investigation was just beginning. News of the remarkable humans spread throughout the Galactic Medical Research Station like a viral outbreak. Scientists from every department requested permission to observe the unprecedented biological healing occurring in Recovery Bay 7. Dr. Cavell found himself fielding requests from xenobiologists, evolutionary specialists, and medical researchers across 3-star systems. The human crew had agreed to participate in comprehensive medical studies, curious about alien perspectives on their biology. Captain Rivers submitted to detailed scans that revealed biological redundancies unknown in galactic medicine. His cardiovascular system contained not one, but 2 pumping organs, positioned to maintain circulation even if one failed completely. "Fascinating," Dr. Cavell murmured, studying the cardiac imaging. "Your species developed backup life support systems." Rivers nodded from the scanning table. 2 kidneys, 2 lungs, 2 of most important organs. If one gets damaged, the other can usually handle the workload until repairs happen. Dr. Morphin discovered even more remarkable redundancies in human biology. Their liver tissue could regenerate lost portions, essentially growing new organ material to replace damaged sections. Their skin contained multiple layers that provided protection, temperature regulation, and sensory input while continuously replacing itself. "Your epidermis completely rebuilds every few weeks," Dr. Morphin observed, his chemical sensors detecting rapid cellular turnover. "You grow entirely new skin regularly." Engineer Thompson laughed as he demonstrated his improved rib mobility. "Everything in our bodies gets replaced eventually. Bones, blood, organs, we're essentially different people every few years at the cellular level." The concept of continuous biological renewal amazed the alien physicians. Most galactic species relied on technological maintenance to preserve their original cellular structure. The idea that a biological system could completely rebuild itself while maintaining consciousness and identity was revolutionary. Dr. Trex focused her research on human neural adaptability. Brain scans of pilot Kumar revealed something that challenged fundamental assumptions about consciousness and intelligence. His neural pathways had literally rewired themselves around his concussion damage, creating new connections that restored full cognitive function. "Your brain tissue generates new neural pathways in response to damage," Dr. Trex reported to her research team. "The damaged areas are bypassed by alternate connections that maintain cognitive integrity." Kumar touched his healing bruise thoughtfully. "The brain is incredibly adaptable. People recover from strokes, injuries, even surgical removal of brain sections by developing new neural pathways. It takes time and often requires rehabilitation, but the mind finds ways to work around problems." The research team began investigating human evolutionary history through genetic analysis. What they discovered explained the remarkable healing. abilities but raised even more questions about human development. The genetic record showed evidence of survival in environments that would prove instantly fatal to most galactic species. Your homeworld was a death trap, Dr. Cavell concluded after reviewing the evolutionary data. Extreme temperature variations, toxic atmospheric conditions, predatory species, geological instability, and aggressive pathogens. Foster nodded grimly. Earth is a tough place to live. Hurricanes, earthquakes, volcanoes, ice ages, droughts, floods. Survival required adapting to constant threats. The aliens examined genetic markers showing human adaptation to environmental challenges that would have driven their species extinct. Humans had developed resistance to radiation, toxins, temperature extremes, oxygen deprivation, and biological pathogens through millions of years of evolutionary pressure. Dr. Morphin's analysis revealed human immune systems that functioned like military organizations. White blood cells patrolled the body in organized formations, identified threats through chemical recognition, communicated through molecular signals, and coordinated massive defensive responses that eliminated infections before they could establish themselves. Your immune system wages biological warfare against invading organisms, Dr. Morphin reported with amazement. The cellular responses include chemical weapons, physical barriers, targeted elimination forces, and memory systems that recognize previous threats. The humans explained that their immune systems could actually improve through exposure to challenges. Vaccinations introduced controlled threats that trained immune responses. Exercise strengthened physical systems. Stress in controlled amounts built resilience to future challenges. We call it adaptation, Rivers explained. Bodies get stronger when they overcome difficulties. Too much stress causes damage, but appropriate challenges build capacity. This concept contradicted everything the aliens knew about biological systems. Their species avoided stress, eliminated challenges through technology, and protected their bodies from any form of adaptation pressure. They had assumed that comfort and technological support represented evolutionary advancement. Dr. Trex discovered that human pain responses served multiple biological functions beyond simple damage notification. Pain motivated protective behaviors, increased healing resources to injured areas, and triggered emotional responses that encouraged social support during recovery periods. Your pain system is integrated with healing mechanisms, Dr. Trex observed. Discomfort guides behavior to optimize recovery. Thompson demonstrated this by carefully moving his healing ribs. Pain tells us what movements to avoid so bones can heal properly. It also motivates us to seek help and rest when we're injured. The research revealed that humans possessed sophisticated biological feedback systems that regulated healing, energy allocation, and recovery processes. Their bodies automatically adjusted blood flow, nutrient distribution, and cellular activity to optimize repair of damaged tissues. The alien physicians realized they were studying the most advanced biological healing system ever documented. Humans had achieved technological civilization while maintaining complete biological independence. They had solved the fundamental problem that drove other species toward technological dependence. They had made natural healing more effective than artificial. Alternatives. You are living proof that biological systems can surpass technological solutions, Dr. Cavell concluded as the research data accumulated. Your species achieved something we thought impossible. The humans exchanged glances, suddenly understanding the significance of their biology from an alien perspective. They had always considered their healing abilities normal, unaware that they possessed capabilities that advanced galactic civilizations had lost centuries ago. The investigation was revealing truths that would revolutionize medicine across the galaxy, but the full implications were still emerging. The aliens were beginning to suspect that their technological advancement might have cost them something invaluable, their biological heritage and natural resilience. The research would continue, but already the fundamental assumptions about Evolution, medicine, and survival were being challenged by four humans who had never realized how extraordinary they truly were. 2 weeks after their arrival, the human crew was preparing for departure when Dr. Cavil made a discovery that would reshape galactic medicine forever. While reviewing comparative biological data from dozens of species, he noticed a disturbing pattern that had been hidden by centuries of technological dependence. The research lab buzzed with activity as alien physicians from across the station gathered to witness Captain Rivers demonstrate something impossible. His injured arm, which had horrified the medical team upon arrival, now showed complete functional recovery. More remarkably, the scar tissue was actually stronger and more resilient than his original skin. The healed area can withstand greater stress than undamaged tissue, Rivers explained, allowing Dr. Morphin to conduct strength tests on the repair site. Human bodies often rebuild better than the original when they heal properly. Dr. Morphin's tentacles trembled with excitement as his sensors confirmed the impossible readings. The new tissue demonstrates superior tensile strength, improved flexibility, and enhanced resistance to damage. Engineer Thompson had returned to full-duty status, his ribs completely healed with increased bone density at the fracture sites. Medical scans showed that his skeletal structure was now stronger than before the accident, contradicting every principle of biological repair known to galactic medicine. "We call it remodeling," Thompson explained to the fascinated alien physicians. "Bones analyze stress patterns and rebuild themselves to handle whatever loads they encounter. Break a bone, and it usually heals back stronger to prevent future breaks in the same place." Dr. Trex had documented the complete recovery of Kumar's brain function, but her findings revealed something even more significant. The pilot's cognitive performance had actually improved following his injury. Neural pathway reorganization had created more efficient connections between brain regions. "Your neural tissue optimized itself during the healing process," Dr. Trex reported, her compound eyes reflecting amazement. "The new pathways demonstrate superior information processing compared to the original configuration." Kumar laughed and tapped his temple where the bruise had completely disappeared. "Sometimes a good knock on the head helps reorganize your thinking. Not that I recommend it, but the brain is remarkably good at improving itself when it needs to." The breakthrough came when Dr. Cavil compared human healing data with historical medical records from other species. He discovered that most galactic civilizations had possessed natural healing abilities similar to humans millions of years ago. However, their rapid adoption of medical technology had caused these biological systems to atrophy over generations. "We abandoned our natural healing in favor of technological solutions," Dr. Cavil announced to an emergency medical council meeting. "Our bodies forgot how to repair themselves because we never allowed them to practice." The assembled physicians reviewed evidence showing how technological dependence had weakened their species over time. The Altarians had lost bone regeneration abilities within 1,000 years of developing crystal matrix healing. The Thessarians could no longer fight infections without biosynthetic immune boosters. The Hyvarians required nano-repair systems for wounds that their ancestors could have healed naturally. Dr. Morphin presented the most disturbing finding. "Our immune systems have become confused by constant technological interference. We suffer from what humans would call autoimmune disorders because our natural defenses no longer recognize normal biological processes." Foster, the human medic, had been observing alien medical procedures with growing concern. She addressed the research team with observations that challenged their fundamental assumptions about health and healing. "You're fighting your own bodies," Foster pointed out diplomatically. "Your medical technology overrides natural healing instead of supporting it. Your immune systems are weakened because they never get to practice fighting infections." She demonstrated basic human physical therapy techniques that seemed primitive but proved remarkably effective. Controlled movement to maintain joint mobility during healing. Progressive exercise to rebuild strength after injury. Breathing techniques to manage pain and reduce stress. These methods work with natural healing processes instead of replacing them, Foster explained as she guided Dr. Cavell through basic flexibility exercises. Technology should enhance biology, not override it. The alien physicians began experimenting with human healing concepts in their own medical practices. Dr. Trex discovered that allowing minor injuries to heal naturally in Hyverian patients resulted in stronger repairs than nanotechnological intervention. Dr. Morphin found that supporting Thessarian immune responses rather than replacing them led to better long-term health outcomes. We have been approaching medicine backwards, Dr. Cavell realized as his crystalline skin shifted through colors of amazement and regret. We developed technology to solve problems, then forgot how to live without it. The humans shared knowledge about their medical practices that seemed almost mystical to the technology-dependent aliens. Nutrition to support healing, sleep patterns that optimized recovery, mental techniques to accelerate tissue repair through stress reduction and positive thinking. Rivers explained the human concept of preventive medicine. We try to keep our bodies healthy so they can handle problems when they arise. Strong immune systems, good physical condition, proper nutrition, it's easier to stay healthy than to fix problems after they develop. This philosophy contradicted the alien approach of reactive medical intervention. Most galactic species waited for problems to develop, then applied technological solutions. The concept of maintaining biological health to prevent problems was revolutionary. The research team discovered that human longevity was partially due to their biological independence. While most alien species required increasing technological support as they aged, humans could maintain health through natural processes well into their later years. Their bodies continued adapting and repairing themselves throughout their entire lives. You age more gracefully because you never stopped using your natural systems, Dr. Morphin observed, reviewing longevity data across species. Your biological functions remain strong because you exercise them regularly. Thompson demonstrated this by explaining human exercise physiology. Use it or lose it. Muscles get stronger when you work them, bones get denser when you stress them, hearts get more efficient when you exercise them. Bodies adapt to whatever demands you place on them. The implications were staggering. The alien species had unknowingly weakened themselves through technological dependence. Their medical advances had solved immediate problems while creating long-term biological deterioration. As the humans prepared to leave the station, they offered to establish an ongoing medical exchange program. The aliens eagerly accepted, realizing they had encountered teachers who could help them reclaim their lost biological heritage. The paradigm shift was complete. The most advanced species in the galaxy was not the one with the best technology, but the one that had never forgotten how to live without it. The humans had proven that biological evolution and technological advancement could coexist, each enhancing the other without replacement. The revolution in galactic medicine was just beginning, sparked by 4 humans who had survived injuries. That would prove fatal to most aliens, using nothing but the healing systems that evolution had provided. 6 months later, the Galactic Medical Research Station had transformed into something unprecedented in the history of interstellar medicine. What began as a routine first-contact medical emergency had evolved into a revolutionary research center, where biological healing was being rediscovered by species that had forgotten their natural capabilities centuries ago. Dr. Cavell stood in the renovated biological research wing, his crystalline skin displaying calm satisfaction as he reviewed the transformation occurring throughout the station. The sterile white walls now featured growing gardens, where medicinal plants from dozens of worlds provided natural healing compounds. The harsh artificial lighting had been supplemented with full-spectrum illumination that supported biological processes. The changes went far deeper than aesthetics. Every medical protocol had been revised to incorporate principles learned from human healing. Rather than immediately applying technological solutions to injuries, the alien physicians now assessed whether natural healing could be supported and enhanced instead of replaced. Foster had returned to the station as part of the new Human Medical Exchange program, bringing with her a team of Earth physicians specializing in natural healing techniques. She walked through the recovery ward, observing alien patients who were experiencing their first attempts at biological healing in generations. "How are you feeling today?" Foster asked a young Altarian patient whose arm had been fractured in an industrial accident. Instead of receiving immediate crystal matrix replacement, the patient was healing naturally with human-developed support techniques. "The pain is manageable," the Altarian replied, moving his arm carefully through prescribed exercises. "I never realized my body could repair itself. My grandparents spoke of natural healing, but I thought those were just stories from primitive times." Dr. Morphin slithered nearby, monitoring the healing process with sensors that had been recalibrated to support rather than override natural functions. His research had revealed that Thessarian biology retained remarkable healing potential when given the opportunity to function without technological interference. "Natural healing rates have exceeded our projections by 40%, Dr. Morphin reported to Foster. "Patient satisfaction is higher, complications are reduced, and long-term outcomes show significant improvement over technological intervention." The success stories multiplied throughout the station. Havarian patients were rediscovering immune functions that nanotechnology had suppressed for centuries. Viridian crystalline beings were learning to regenerate damaged mineral structures through biological processes their ancestors had abandoned. Even the synthetic species were exploring ways to integrate organic healing components into their mechanical systems. Captain Rivers had become something of a celebrity throughout the galactic medical community. His healed arm was stronger than ever, and his recovery had been documented in medical journals across dozens of star systems. He returned to the station regularly as a consultant, helping develop protocols that bridged human healing techniques with alien biology. "The key is patience," Rivers explained to a group of medical residents from across the galaxy. "Natural healing takes time, but the results are usually superior to quick technological fixes. Bodies know how to repair themselves if you give them the right support." Engineer Thompson had established a physical therapy program that was revolutionizing alien rehabilitation medicine. Species that had relied on technological augmentation for mobility were learning to strengthen their natural musculoskeletal systems through progressive exercise and movement therapy. "Movement is medicine," Thompson taught his alien students, as they practiced basic flexibility exercises. "Bodies are designed to move, and movement promotes healing. Immobilization and technological substitution often create more problems than they solve." Kumar had partnered with Dr. Trex to study neural adaptation across different species. Their research revealed that most alien brains retain the capacity for rewiring and adaptation, but these abilities had been suppressed by technological cognitive enhancement systems. "Every brain can learn new pathways," Kumar explained during a cognitive rehabilitation session with a Proximan patient recovering from head trauma. "The mind is incredibly adaptable when you give it the chance to heal itself." The most significant breakthrough came from collaborative research between human physicians and alien scientists. They discovered that hybrid approaches combining the best of biological and technological healing produced results superior to either method alone. Dr. Cavell had developed protocols that used minimal technology to support maximal biological function. Alien immune systems were boosted with controlled exposure to pathogens rather than replacement with artificial systems. Bone healing was enhanced with targeted nutrition and exercise rather than metallic substitutes. Neural recovery was accelerated with cognitive therapy rather than electronic brain interfaces. "We have learned to work with biology instead of against it," Dr. Cavell announced at the first Interstellar Conference on Biological Medicine. "Technology should enhance natural processes, not replace them." The conference attracted representatives from hundreds of worlds, all eager to learn about the medical revolution started by 4 injured humans. Foster presented research showing that species could recover their natural healing abilities within Just a few generations if technological dependence was gradually reduced. Evolution didn't make mistakes, Foster told the assembled delegates. Your ancestors developed remarkable healing systems that we can help you rediscover. The goal is not to abandon technology, but to use it wisely to support biological excellence. HFY Medical Station had become a pilgrimage site for alien physicians seeking to understand natural healing. Exchange programs brought doctors from across the galaxy to learn human techniques and develop hybrid approaches suitable for their species. Dr. Morphin had published groundbreaking research on immune system restoration that was saving lives throughout Thessarian space. Dr. Trex's work on neural adaptation had revolutionized treatment for brain injuries across dozens of species. Dr. Cavel's integrated healing protocols were being adopted by medical institutions throughout the Galactic Federation. But perhaps the most important change was philosophical. The medical community had begun to understand that advancement did not require abandoning natural systems. The humans had proven that biological and technological evolution could proceed together, each enhancing the other. As the human crew prepared for their next mission, they reflected on the unexpected impact of their medical emergency. What had started as a simple request for basic first aid had sparked a revolution that was transforming medicine across the galaxy. Who would have thought that getting hurt would lead to all this? Rivers mused as they prepared to depart from the station. Foster smiled as she watched alien medical students practicing human healing techniques in the station's gardens. Sometimes the most important lessons come from the most unexpected teachers. We never realized how special our healing abilities were until we met species that had forgotten theirs. The Terra Nova departed from the Galactic Medical Research Station, leaving behind a transformed understanding of medicine and healing. Behind them, aliens from hundreds of worlds continued learning to rediscover their biological heritage, guided by the simple truth that the human crew had demonstrated. The most advanced healing system in the galaxy was not the most complex or technological. It was the one that had never forgotten the wisdom built into every living cell through millions of years of evolution. The humans had taught the galaxy that sometimes the oldest solutions were still the best solutions. The revolution would continue spreading throughout known space, carried by medical professionals who had learned that true advancement meant working with biology, not against it. The age of biological renaissance had begun, sparked by 4 humans who had simply asked for bandages and time to heal.